What's really good, my people? Welcome into No Catch Up Sports Talk via Chicago. I'm your host, Sean Little. Big Nick the Quick with me as always. We haven't been on the mic in a couple weeks. Folks been busy, but we're back, man. NFL Divisional Round was something for the ages. We had Bills, Chiefs, bananas, Jackpot Joe Burrow doing his thing. Brady almost Brady'd again. We're going to talk about all that. Then we're going to look ahead to the championship weekend. Then, of course, we're going to move over to the NBA. The NBA has got a lot of stuff going on and is very wide open. We're going to talk about NBA power rankings. We're going to talk about, or maybe Nick doesn't think it's as wide open as it looks. We'll talk about that because we'll talk about that because I want to see what Nick says about who are the real players and who aren't. And then we'll get into some bull stuff. Levine came back last night, lifted him to a W, even though it got kind of shaky down the stretch. But we'll jump into it, man. Big Nick the Quick.
Yes, sir.
What's going on?
Back on the mic.
Back on the mic. What's good?
Chilling, man. What's the business? How you
doing? Man, my coffee is back the right ratio. You know what I'm saying?
What happened? You having some issues with the coffee? You wasn't grinding your beans right?
No, I remember a couple weeks ago I put too much cream in my shit.
Oh,
Fried.
Bro, you just gotta come to the dark side, man. No condiments in the coffee, man. Just take it straight black. Enjoy the flavor. You know what I mean?
Honestly,
yo, do you grind your own beans or are you buying pre-ground shit?
Nah, look. So I got a grinder and I bought a pack of my own shit. And I was grinding for a while, but that extra step started killing me.
Makes a difference.
But so what happened was my mother gave me some stuff that was already ground.
Yeah.
So like she kind of messed up the flow. She gave me like an easier option.
She get that Puerto Rican shit or was it
the Bustelo? Yeah.
Oh, the Bustelo. Yeah. Okay. Yep.
Yeah, she always gives me some Bustelo. So I was like,
is that shit good?
Yeah, it's really good actually.
Okay.
And it's cheap, dog. It's like you get a can.
I know it comes in like a brick.
The big there's a brick and then you can get like the yellow can for the low.
Yeah.
But she gave me the easier option, so I didn't have to grind anymore, or at least that month.
Mm-hmm.
So I haven't been grinding my shit. I got a big ass bag of beans behind it. It does taste better. I don't know if it tastes better to add another, 6 or 7 minutes to what I'm doing though.
What kind of grind? 6 or 7 minutes? It takes 30 seconds to grind coffee.
Well, what kind of grinder you got?
I got the one you put the thing in there, you push it down, it grinds the beans. 30 seconds to get to the automatic drip.
Yeah, that's automatic drip.
Well, for your machine, it's an automatic drip machine.
Oh, you got the fancy shit.
What do you got?
I don't know. I got some regular shit.
Yeah.
The KitchenAid joint.
I got the Cuisinart.
Okay, yeah, that's the same one I got.
Yeah. That's what it's called. It's called an automatic drip machine, I think.
Oh, with the blue button in the middle?
Yeah, with the button, you push the joint. Yeah. The joint, everybody's got that joint. Look, the Cuisinart joint is undefeated.
Yeah, everybody got that joint. All right, so yeah, okay, well, this is the other thing too. I'm dropping shit and I gotta clean it up.
I feel the coffee grounds do get all over the place, and that shit is a nightmare to clean up.
Yeah,
we got white countertops, and that shit'll fuck up your whole situation.
Yeah, exactly. So, but it does taste a little better. I want to get an espresso.
So we had an espresso for a few years, and then for Christmas, this year for Christmas I upgraded Nikki to like the full on real espresso machine.
Yeah,
it's a trip. The espressos are dope though, but if you got the space and the time and the cash, I would highly recommend getting the joint because it's like you never go back to the coffee shop ever.
Sure. I feel you.
It's amazing.
Yeah. Okay. Let's jump into it. NFL divisional. I know a lot of people are saying this is the best 4 games of football they've ever seen in a weekend, and I mean, I don't think there's any hyperbole in that. Like, it was that fucking good. The games were that good.
Certainly the 4th game.
Well,
Sunday was different. I mean, really, that 4th game was so good. I could see how you could come away with that conclusion because the 4th game was that good.
Yeah.
The other 3 were good, right? And they were great. They all ended on the field goals and all of that. Rams Bucks was good, but it shouldn't have been. You know,
I didn't.
It was a team. So my thing with Rams Bucks, like, yeah, it was a good game. I was excited to see that comeback, but. And I know we're going to get into it. I know everybody's sipping the Rams juice and we're all sipping the Stafford juice. And he absolutely made a huge play and came through after having multiple chances to come through in that game. Finally got another chance to come through and did come through. So I would definitely give him credit on that. But to say that was like some great game, I'm not going to go that far.
I think overall that game wasn't
one
that
game
good.
was trying to lose. One team was really trying to lose the other game and the other team couldn't win. You know what I mean? So it's like you're watching two teams just make mistake after mistake after mistake that keeps each other in the game for whatever reason. I didn't think it was that great of a game.
I didn't think it was that great of a game either. It was like
I'm not going to remember that in like 2 years. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
It started out as a blowout, and then Brady got a couple opportunities to score some touchdowns and bring him back a little bit, and that's what he did. But yeah, I wouldn't go off and say that was by far the worst game of the weekend. I think
if the Bucs win, it's a crazy game because they came back from down 20-something. But yeah, it was a blowout and got close, but the team that was blowing the other team out ended up winning. So it's kind of like, okay, hey.
Yeah, I mean that's the worst game of the weekend. Yeah. There's no question for me. And just for some context and some bias control, Big Nick the Quick is not a Matthew Stafford fan. In case anybody was wondering. So that go ahead.
Well, I'll clear it up too. And it's not like I'm like, yo, I hate Matthew Stafford. Like, it's not like I hate. What I don't like is that I don't like that this dude was able to rewrite his narrative and we forget like 14 years of non-winning football. Right? Like we talk about all the time how quarterbacks are difference makers. And if you have a quarterback, you're 90% there. Well, the Lions had a quarterback for 14 years and they were not 90% of anything. So I think that he comes over here to this situation that's loaded with talent. Obviously, when you put him up against Jared Goff, he's going to look a million times better. Jared Goff is not a good quarterback. And I think he's had a good year. But I think there were moments in that game, specifically in the fourth quarter, where he could have put them away. We didn't have to have this long, drawn-out football game. There were a lot of moments that he could have put them away. Obviously, the snap over his head isn't his fault, right? Things like that aren't his fault. But some of those 3-and-outs are his fault. Some of those throwing behind his receivers are his fault. Some of those not making the big plays. We just watched two quarterbacks go right after that game and make big plays when big plays weren't there, right? Squeeze it out of their back pocket, make a play, complete on a fourth down, 4th and 14, I'm throwing 50-yard touchdown bombs, things like that, right? Like, that's elite quarterbacking. So I'm just pumping the brakes on the Matt Stafford is super elite, and Matt Stafford's going to lead us to the promised land.
I don't know if anybody's saying about this guy elite.
But I also think he's shaky. Like, I still believe that in a big moment, he's not the guy that I want. He's just not the guy he was nervous during that game. He wanted no part of that fourth quarter, I guarantee you. He wanted zero part of that fourth quarter. You saw it up until the very end.
You said he don't look like Jackpot Joe on the sideline?
He doesn't have that same. He doesn't inspire that same type of confidence to me. Again, man, like they were up huge in that game, and Tampa didn't want to win. Like Tampa fumbling the ball, making all types of crazy mistakes. They get a huge break on that pass interference or the late hit that because the ball had hit the ground, they don't get the ball back. If they get the ball, if that penalty goes the other way and Tampa gets the ball back, it's a completely different story.
That was some crazy shit.
That was crazy. It was a split second between the ball touching the ground and that happening.
I'm going to tell you this. Going forward, I'm going to be looking for exactly when the ball hits the ground. Well, the fourth down makes it a difference, but I can't pinpoint it, but there is no question.
That's a bad rule.
There's no question. I have seen plays on fourth down, shit happen, and the play is dead, and something happens after, and it causes a first down.
100%.
There is no
100%.
question about that.
I've never seen that. I didn't know that rule.
Like
I didn't know that was a thing. So like, there's no way we haven't seen it where it's gone the other way because we had no idea that was even a thing. We were on the phone when it was happening. Neither one of us were like, oh well, the ball dropped, so it's going to go the other way. Like that wasn't even a thought.
I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah, but
that shit doesn't get called like that, like ever. I've never seen that before.
Yeah.
So
I just feel like there was a lot of moments for them to put it away, for him specifically to put it away. And again, it sounds bad because he did eventually end up putting it away. But as we were watching that game, it's like, yo, this is shaky. This is shaky. Everything about this situation is shaky. You felt the same way.
Yeah, it did.
Don't sit here and tell me like you were like, yo, it's all good. They got this. Like, yo, it's shaky. We don't know about this guy.
It felt like they were about to lose the game.
It felt like they were going to lose the game.
Yeah.
So again, he made some great plays. The Cooper Kupp touchdown was incredible.
This is not, hold on. Yeah, yes, no. What really quick, and then we'll get into it when we talk about these other games. But like, what's up with these blown ass coverages and big ass plays happening on spots where It should not happen like that.
Yeah.
Like throughout the game, no one's ever given up 4th and 14s, 3rd and 14s, and then all of a sudden the game's on the line and motherfuckers are wide open.
Yeah.
Like, Gabe, yeah, we'll talk about it. But yeah, I agree with you.
Chiefs
100%.
Bills was the prime example of defensive. As great as these quarterbacks played, the defensive miscues in Chiefs Bills are all timers.
The lapses
They're
are
all.
crazy.
I think that did you put that up on the group chat the other day? Just how they had the Bills had their safeties playing. You had these guys playing deep when there's 13 yards. Is all they needed to get. Like the whole thing is crazy.
The Bills had 2 safeties, 2 all pros, by the way.
Yeah.
One on the 25 and one on the 30. Bro, if they get anywhere close to that number, they're kicking the field. They're not, they don't have to score a touchdown.
Yeah.
It was a lot of shit going on. But yeah, that had to give y'all some context and let y'all know Big Nick the Quick does not love Matt Stafford. But
shaky.
He showed up in the big moment at the end of the game. But I lean more your way, Nick, where this next coming week, there's going to be some big spots where he's struggling. And it's going to be like, he's played pretty average the last 8 weeks, I would say.
Oh, he didn't play well. I thought he played terrible to end the season.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He played terrible to end the season. He had 8 picks. Yeah. I mean, so again, yeah.
He still had 40 tutties, though.
I got the biggest thing that I'll pull. He did. Yeah.
He still had 40 tutties.
Look at his fucking offense.
He still had 40 tutties.
He's good. He's talented. I'm just saying, man, look, go back and watch that fourth quarter. Go back and watch the moments when he could have put that game away and how long it took them to actually put that game away. They should have put that game away beginning of the fourth quarter, over with. As they're making that comeback, come down the field and score a touchdown. They didn't score. When did they score? They scored at the beginning of the third quarter and then didn't score again until that Cooper Kupp touchdown, right?
Until the field goal, yeah.
Yeah. Or the field goal, yeah.
It was 27-3, and they didn't score until the field to win 30 to win 30-24 or 30-27.
I rest my case. You should have beat these boys 45-3.
Yeah, they were on their ass early too.
Should have beat them 45-3. You could not score in the second half.
Yeah, we were talking about it too. The only way Brady looks not like Superman is when you get pressure. And if you can get pressure up the middle and get some pressure off the edge like the Rams were doing, they look spooky. That was the key to the game.
That's the case with any quarterback apparently not named Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow pressure doesn't matter. You can sack him 15 times, he's still making plays. But no one can deal with it, right? I mean, that's why. Yeah, we'll get into that when we talk about Cincinnati. But yeah,
let's move over to Cincinnati right now. We'll go to we just touched Bucks Rams. Well, before we come off Bucks Rams, I don't believe any of this Tom Brady retire shit. I don't know. I don't unless that's coming from like an inside source. I don't see that boy retiring, even thinking about it.
The only thing that I saw that kind of made me think like, okay, is that quote that he had where he was talking about like essentially like, yo, I've been gone for 22 years. You know what I mean? Giselle might want me at the crib.
Yeah.
The kids might need to get to know me. Because at some point, and like if you're Giselle, you're like, hey, bro, like what exactly are you chasing? You know what I mean? Like I get you love playing ball and all that, but like there is nothing left to accomplish. And
no,
come home, Tom.
That's not the mentality though. What
I get it. But he also has
number 8.
But he also has other obligations outside of football. That's all I'm saying. Unless his wife is at his head, like, hey, bro, like it's time to She's been at his head
though. She's been at his head for years.
You think so? You think she's been telling him retire?
Hey, if it wasn't for him standing pat, he would have 2 less Super Bowls. He'd have left years ago. He'd have hit 6.
You think she's been telling him like, hey, hang it up?
Fuck yeah, hell yeah.
Come home.
Hell yeah. Like she's been. It's like known. She's like, yo, look. Come on back, like, yeah. What are you doing?
Like, we literally have $1 billion.
Yeah,
like,
we got.
Like, exactly. I got 700 million. You got 300 million. Like,
exactly. Like, yeah. I think she's been on that. Like, come on, bro.
Yeah, but eventually that pressure. It's like, hey, it's another off season of him having to listen to that. He might just. I don't know. Who knows? He's so different. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean.
But can we stop talking about like? I've said this before on the podcast, and like this is for Tom Brady and this is for LeBron James. Like people just need to stop. What are we talking about? What are we arguing about? What are we debating? What more do these guys need to do? I get people aren't happy with the way the LeBron's going with the Lakers.
Who's talking about that?
Oh, people still talk.
With some sense.
People still talk Maybe not as much about Brady. You know they do about LeBron, but it's just like, yo, these guys are like at a different level. LeBron's leading the league in scoring, and he's 37 years old. Like, I don't really know. Tom Brady just led the NFL in passing yards, and he's 42.
Yeah.
If you still have something to pick apart about these guys' careers, you should fucking go do something else with your life.
Yeah, man. I was told, shout out my guy Marv. He told me AB was on the I Am Athlete podcast yesterday and said he was sounding very logical and clear-headed. He said he had Brandon Marshall pressed.
Oh, I saw that when he was talking about he wanted to play with Lamar Jackson.
Well, I saw that clip, but I apparently the whole interview, he's making some valid points and got Marsh kind of stumped a little bit. Excuse me. So
super gremlin.
Super gremlin. You saw?
Yo, did you see the Instagram? So I screenshotted this. I gotta send it to you because I don't know if he deleted it, but he had posted an Instagram post of him on the field, and he goes, the caption was, "Yeah, I walked off the field. I knew the game was still going on, but I'm a super gremlin."
Super gremlin. Yo, you saw Shannon Sharp has been using that too.
No, he's been saying super gremlin.
Shannon Sharp has been hashtagging super gremlin.
Super gremlin.
Because he's been clowning Skip, because Skip squads are the Cowboys. And then Brady's his guy too. Yeah. So Shannon been having a field day. He been hashtagging all his shit super gremlin.
AB. Oh AB. Man.
Call God. So all right. Let's move over to Jackpot Joe and the Titans. This is another game I lost some money on because
I don't know. I don't understand.
Me neither, bro. To be honest with you, I don't
understand.
Well, listen. I knew the Titans were going to get pressure. I broke it down that way. I did my research and came up with I thought that the Titans should have won the game. Like, let's be honest.
Yeah, absolutely, they should have won the game. But
what
does it all boil down to?
I still have no business betting on Ryan Tannehill to do anything ever.
So let me ask you this real quick, because my gambling is, and I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm great, but I do have I have my firm rules. And my firm rules are guys you don't bet on, and it always boils down to quarterbacks for me. Always boils down to quarterbacks. So I could love the Tennessee Titans in a matchup, but I can't go to the window and put money on Ryan Tannehill. You know what I mean? It's just one of those guys where it's he is way too shaky to ever put any of my money on anything involving him. He's a hard no.
Yeah, I mean, I like the bro. It's
Burrow versus Tannehill at the end of the day.
Yeah, but the matchup favored the Titans. I mean, if you go back and look at it across the board, they were rested. They were going to get pressure, and I didn't think Burrow was going to come out and spray it the way he did, and he didn't earlier. I thought Henry wasn't as effective as I thought he was going to be.
Not at all.
I will say that.
Well, he's been out.
And that's also kind of my fault.
I hasn't played in 9 weeks.
Right. I fell into this. He's just going to be back to being that man. And he's got screws and plates in his foot and all types of shit. So I kind of fell into that narrative a little bit. But either way, they're a better team. They were at home. And I had them on the money line. I had a nice little same game parlay, actually. I basically got down the Titans to minus 125. And I had this is the same game parlay. I had the Bengals to score 13. It was over 12.5 and Titans money line. I knew Burrow was going to score 13 points. So I took that, and then I basically brought Titans down to minus 125. So I really like the play. I still like the play, even though it was an L. But Tannehill came out the first fucking play and threw a pick. So he kind of set the tone off jump. But we kind of went through it. I kind of just went through where my head was at just now. But Henry wasn't as impactful as I thought he would be. And Tannehill crumbled in every spot that he could have. Yo, you know how hard it is to throw 3 picks when you throw the ball 24 times?
Yeah,
it's not like you threw the ball 40.
You weren't spraying it like that.
It's not like you threw the ball 45 times. Burrow threw the ball 37 times. My man had 15 completions and had 3 picks. It's just bad quarterbacking. And I'm going to tell you this about Joe Burrow, man. We have said this over and over on this podcast. I told you that man was the real fucking deal when I saw him in Chicago throw 3 interceptions in a row on 3 consecutive passes, and he didn't bat an eye, bro.
Yeah,
he didn't flinch, didn't blink, walked off every time, lightly took off his chin strap, walked to the side, and waited to get the ball back. That was it. He did it 3 times in a row, and then he almost brought us back to win, or us. He almost brought the Bengals back to win the game. He almost brought the Bengals back to win the game single-handedly after that. Yeah. So I knew he was the real deal by watching him in college and all that. Once I saw it, like in that type of different situation, I'm like, yo, this dude's unflappable. And he showed you this weekend again. He got sacked 9 times.
9 times. Like, 9 times. When have you ever seen a quarterback win a game getting sacked? You know how hard you played the position. You know how hard it is to win a game. So that's 9 times they got you. If they sacked you 9 times, they were back there about 40 times. You know what I'm saying? Like, exaggerating a little bit, but you get my drift. They were back there all day. If you watch the game, they were back there all day long. Yeah. That Bengals line is atrocious. And they've been atrocious for 2 years now. And yeah, that speaks to Joe Burrow, because I don't know of any other quarterback that could play behind that line last Saturday. Like, they were that bad. The Titans were back there all day. The defensive line was setting up shop in front of Joe Burrow. They were just sending 4, getting through every single time. Yeah. There was no blocking going on at all. He had no time to throw the ball. They were constantly in his face. And to your point, just like in that Bears game where he threw the 3 picks, came back off and shook it off like it was nothing. He got sacked 9 times, shook it off, and came back and won the game. No, it's truly incredible, man. Like, you talk about a guy overcoming what's in front of him like that. That's it. That's what you want from your quarterback.
I'm going to tell you this, man. He got sacked 9 times. Got up every single time, didn't say a fucking word, either jogged to the sideline or re-upped in the huddle. If you were watching the Bucs-Rams, like I know if you're listening even Brady got sacked a couple times at one point, and he banged his head on the ground and looked up in the sky like, fuck, G, they're all over. What the fuck is going on? They're all over me. Like, go back and look at Brady getting sacked. He looks up, leans his head back, looks up into the sky, and then gets up.
Yeah.
Burrow didn't even do that.
Yeah.
He stands up, doesn't smirk, doesn't do anything, hands the ball to who he needs to hand it to, and he gets up. The kid is unflappable, bro. And it's crazy.
And he goes 28 for 37 under that kind of pressure too, right? To only throw 9 incompletions when they're in your ass all day long. He had the pick, but to throw only 9 incompletions when they're in their ass all day long. I mean, that speaks to him, right? I mean, they only had 65 yards on the ground, so it was clearly all up to Joe Burrow. And man, yeah, because as I'm watching that game, I'm like, they can't win because he has no time. Like, he can't do anything. Like, they're just back there. Eventually, it's going to get to him. Eventually, it's going to get to him. Eventually, he's going to make that mistake, and he just didn't do it.
He threw a pick, but still.
And it's crazy because this was obviously an issue last year. Remember, he got hurt, and it was known, like, the number one thing the Bengals had to address going into the offseason was the offensive line. Yeah. And I'll say it. When they drafted Jamar Chase, I hated that pick. Not because it was anything against Jamar Chase, because it was just, you know me. I build from the trenches. Inside out. If you have a young quarterback, the same thing the Bears should be doing. I don't care about skill position players until you can protect the quarterback, right? Yeah. Because you can't get the ball to those guys if the quarterback is on his ass all the time, right? Unless you're Joe Burrow, apparently. So when they made that pick, I was like, why are you taking Chase, right? Like, to me, a wide receiver is like the cherry on the top. You got to have everything else.
Look, that's the last thing you pick it up.
The last thing, it looks great, right?
Maybe not the last.
Not the last thing, but there's other things. There's other things that you want to get. I'd probably get a running back before I'm going after a wide receiver.
Hell no.
They're cheap and they're easy. You spend capital to get running. You can go get a running back from wherever, whatever. You know what I'm saying, right? But not when your offensive line looks like that. I don't think you go out drafting wide receivers. To their credit, Chase was an absolute fucking monster. Obviously, him and Burrow already had that credit, and Burrow was able to overcome that offensive line stuff. Now, that doesn't mean that you go into this offseason saying, oh, we'll just not address it. If I'm the Cincinnati Bengals, I'm calling every single offensive lineman I possibly can, because how much better will he be with protection, right?
That's the thing, bro. Like,
how much better will he be with protection?
If he looks like this with motherfuckers in his face,
because that's the worst line in the NFL. I think he got sacked more than any quarterback in the NFL.
Tannehill's one and Burrow's too. But something tells me I haven't broke down the film on the Titans. Something tells me a lot of quarterback play probably has to do with him taking more sacks than
absolutely.
not.
Absolutely.
And Tennessee's line is better than the Bengals line.
For sure. So protect your quarterback, but I mean, again, he was able to overcome that. He's incredible, man. I've been telling you all year.
Yeah.
Elite. The ball placement is beyond elite. Receivers don't adjust. He knows where he's going with it. He's extremely accurate. He's just a fucking winner. I don't know what else to say, man. Like this guy is special. Because this team, from a talent standpoint, is probably the least talented squad in the playoffs, right? If you look at this from top to bottom,
offensively though,
they got a lot of talent on off. But I'm just saying, like overall this was like a 2-win ball club last year. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so young head coach.
Yeah, young head coach, just not supposed to be here. Obviously, very, very, very tough matchup going into Arrowhead next week against that guy. But I don't feel like this is how good Burrow is. I don't feel the nerves that I would of a second-year quarterback going into Arrowhead for a playoff game, if that makes sense, right? Like normally, like this is like as we talk about like gambling spots, it's like I don't care who your second-year quarterback is. I'm not taking them in Arrowhead. This one, I got to see. I don't know. I don't necessarily feel that way because Burrow's that good. I don't think he's going to shit the bed. I don't know if the noise is going to get to him. Again, we just watched this guy run for his life all day on Saturday and still come back and win the game.
I'm gonna tell you this: that can't happen in Kansas City because they're going to put up. Kansas City's going to put up
the points. Yeah, you're not. That is the difference. You don't have Ryan Tannehill on the other side.
What was the final last? What was it? 17-14 or
19-16.
16.
Yeah, they score more than the boys might put up 19 in the first quarter.
Like 19 in the first half.
Yeah.
So yeah, but yeah, man, Joe Burrow is very, like you said, get this man a line, and I don't even know. Like he's going to look like Tom Brady.
Yeah.
He's going to be standing back there just picking people apart. That's what I don't see why it wouldn't be that way.
And another thing that game showed me is Mike Vrabel might be the best coach in the NFL if he can get Ryan Tannehill consistently this far every year.
No, I'm going to tell you this. Vrabel's also the guy that went and got Tannehill.
True.
So go.
Yeah, but who that over Mariota?
Yeah, but go get somebody else, man. They gave Tannehill a bunch of bread too. That guy.
Well, that first year he was good though. Not good. You know what I mean by good? He was. He was a steady hand. That's what he does. It was a steady hand. But then when you need him to make plays, when you need him to make plays like you did on Saturday, he can't do it. That's your limitations with a guy like Tannehill. It'll always be a limitation unless your defense is absurd.
The defense played really well. Derrick Henry was averaging 3 yards a carry. He was getting stuffed essentially.
Yeah,
and they couldn't. They had to drop back and throw it a little more than they wanted to. And Tannehill made maybe one throw to AJ Brown.
Yeah,
he's just not that guy. So that's it. That's all. All right.
Brown had a pretty big game. He had 5 for 142.
Yeah, no, I mean, no
but
question.
he had all of their yards.
And then one. I think the long was like 45 or 50
for the 40-yarder.
Yeah, 40-yarder. So yeah, I mean, AJ Brown a goon too.
He also missed AJ Brown on a clear tutty.
Clear tutty.
Every
other quarterback in the playoffs makes that throw.
Clear touchdown.
Yeah, clear touchdown. So,
oh my God, yeah.
That's that. All right, let's move over to Green Bay before we get to Arrowhead.
Green Bay Packers.
It's all over for Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I told y'all that at the start of the year, I told y'all that.
You think it's over for Aaron Rodgers is the real question, though.
Hell no.
You think he's gonna come back?
What?
What
are y'all?
I'm just asking. Hey, look.
What are y'all talking about?
I was fully on the he's not leaving train because I thought that this team was going to the Super Bowl.
He was leaving anyway.
But I didn't think he was. I didn't think he was going to leave if they would have had some playoff success. But now it creates a very awkward situation.
It's not an awkward situation. He's done over there. He's leaving. It's over. He told you in the press conference. He said, "Yo, man, it's a lot of people under not going to be under contract. Devontae Adams, I don't know. They'll probably tag him. He named like 4, 5, 6 people. He's like, yeah, I'm cool. Y'all go ahead and figure this shit out. I'm done with dealing with the management up here. I don't like not ownership because that's
no
the fans,
ownership. It's the
but
city of Green Bay.
the front office. I don't like. I'm not rocking with them. I don't think y'all supported me throughout the year like you guys could have, or throughout my career. If we're being honest, I'm out of here. He's gonna go to Denver, bro. He's going to go hang out with that tough-ass D, and that's it. Mile high.
Is Denver let me ask you this. Okay, so if let's say Aaron Rodgers could go anywhere in the league where there's not a firm quarterback situation.
Sure.
Is Denver your top choice?
Is
Miami not a better spot? If you're Aaron Rodgers, you don't want to go kick it in South Beach?
Probably not.
Okay.
I don't think
So do you want to go play in a division with Patrick Mahomes and Justin Herbert?
Yeah, he's better than those guys.
Do you want to go play in a conference with Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes?
He's not going to the NFC East.
The AFC East? The AFC in general.
Oh, you're saying the whole conference. I got you.
Yeah, because this Mahomes-Allen thing isn't going anywhere anytime soon.
You think? Hold on, man. Let me get this straight. You telling me Aaron Rodgers is running from Justin Herbert and all these other motherfuckers?
I'm not saying he's running, but he wants to win. The NFC is the place to do it. Stay in the NFC. Don't go over to the AFC. Those two guys are going to be playing the AFC Championship game for the next 15 years.
The best situation for Aaron Rodgers. Manning. The best situation for Aaron Rodgers would be San Francisco.
Yeah,
that's not going to happen. Probably
they drafted a running back to play quarterback, so
that's not going to happen unless. Hey, if anybody will do it, Kyle Shanahan will do it.
They don't give a fuck.
He don't give a fuck. He'll send that. It'll be Trey Lance and Jordan Love in Green Bay.
The flat build assassin.
It'll be light skinned quarterbacks
all day.
Lambo all over the place, right?
Quarterbacks.
So I would rank it this way, honestly. If we're gonna say unstable, would you consider the Niners situation unstable at quarterback?
It's certainly not firm.
It's certainly not firm.
I mean, when you draft a quarterback 4th overall and you already have a quarterback, it's not firm.
Certainly not firm. Yeah. Okay, so then I would say the Niners would be the best situation of a situation where they don't have a firm quarterback.
And you're going to play for Shanahan, and Shanahan and LaFleur is the same type situation. They're boys. That's his guy. Shanahan, LaFleur, they all have that same look. It's the Shanahan, LaFleur, Zach Taylor, buddy out in San Diego Chargers. Who's doing the Chargers? Brandon Staley. Like it's it's that 40-year-old white dude. Yeah. Shanahan's like the godfather of it.
Yeah.
The flat build assassin, but the rest of them kind of fall in line.
Yeah.
It's like a whole crew. It's like a Vegas crew.
Let me. I'll say this. Give me the Niners at 1.
Okay.
If he goes to the Niners, they're instantly the best team in the NFC.
Okay.
There's no argument for me. Niners. You know who I'm going to put at 2? Cleveland.
I was going to say that Cleveland was actually on my list. What about Cleveland?
If he goes to Cleveland, they are spooky. They have a ton of talent on D. They have the best run game in the league when healthy. Maybe not. Maybe after Baltimore.
What about New Orleans?
New Orleans could be a good spot. Him and Sean Payton. But I'm not gonna disrespect my guy Jameis like that.
I'm just looking to see if there's any better situations. Yeah, I mean,
Indianapolis wouldn't be bad. Honestly, bro, I think the Packers are going to be garbage next year. He leaves, they're going to be shit.
Oh yeah, if he leaves, they're shit. There's nothing on that team.
They're going to be shit. No, well, first of all, because the morale is going to be crazy low. Everyone, oh my God, they're going to win 5 games.
The talent is going to to be crazy low.
Yeah,
there's not going to be anybody there that can play football.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
Yeah, it's going to be. We saw Jordan Love. Jordan Love is. Feel bad for Jordan Love.
He got some big shoes to fill coming in.
He's just in a lose situation. He can't do anything right.
Yeah.
There's probably not a better situation. You're right. As I look around the league here, the Raiders. But here's my thing. The Raiders. Yeah, the Raiders won 10 fucking ball games this year. The wide receiver killed somebody. Their other wide receiver pulled a gun on somebody. Their coach fucking said the N-word. Like, what we got going on? Shout out Derek Carr, man.
Yeah, they're not like top 3 though. They're not. I think Denver's before them. Denver's got a lot of young talent on wideouts too. They got a beast on the running back. I can't remember this dude's name.
You have a home field advantage.
Home field advantage. I think. I don't know how important is that Elway connection. You think?
I just don't know if I want to go play in a division with Pat Mahomes and Justin Herbert. But I mean, okay. And you think Rodgers running? Rodgers has played his entire life in divisions with no quarterbacks. Like, let's keep it real. Stafford and Kirk Cousins. Like, come on.
That is actually interesting.
He's been chilling in the NFC. That's the thing with the Pack. That is so. Listen, man. We can do a whole episode on this. That's why the Aaron Rodgers thing is. When we look back, it's going to be, in my opinion, what's the right way to frame this? For lack of a better term, a wasted career in terms of winning, because they had their ticket was punched to the playoffs every single year.
Every single year they had a ticket to the playoffs.
Every single year their ticket was punched to the playoffs. It's not like we had some grinding out regular season in which we had to fight and claw our way in. You played a division with no quarterback, and you were clearly the best team in your division and have been, bar none, for
15 straight years.
Longer than that. We can go back to Brett Favre and them. There's never been quarterbacks in this division, ever.
Yeah.
There's been sprinkle of quarterback play. You've had some Culpepper years.
Randall Cunningham.
Stafford years. Randall Cunningham. Shout out Warren Moon, the God. Shout out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Actually, the Vikings have had a lot of black quarterbacks that have had success. They need to go back to the brothers. They've had shout out to Tavares. Shout out T-Jack the assassin. You know what I mean?
Shout out
T-Jack. Do you remember that 2-year stretch of Culpepper, like unstoppable? Like when Dante Culpepper was a fucking problem.
Dante was a beast, bro.
Dante was a problem.
Was a beast, dog.
The Randy ratio. All that shit. So I mean, but he's had a path to winning the division every single year, a clear path, and they've won one Super Bowl, and he's only been to one Super Bowl. And if you really want to go deep, this is a franchise that has had. We've been searching for a quarterback for 100 years? This is a franchise that has had 35 years of elite Hall of Fame level quarterbacking and has been to 3 Super Bowls and won 2 in that 30 years.
Yeah.
So
it's tough.
So it's just kind of like, hey, maybe the problem's up there. I don't know. But I know that I can count 4 different Bears teams. If I would have had a halfway decent quarterback, we would have got a ring, including 2 years ago.
Yeah.
3 years ago. So
yeah, it's true. I will say this, man. I don't think they gave.
That's why I think it's a waste.
I think Rodgers was carrying and masking a lot of the problems that were happening over there.
Those teams, no. See, I thought that
Listen
too,
to me,
but those teams were loaded. No, don't forget about the who was the white boy and Randall Cobb that they had when those two were both fucking monsters. Jordy Nelson, Randall Cobb.
They
had some monsters.
Did you ever hear Jordy Nelson's name again after he left Aaron Rodgers?
He got hurt.
Did you ever hear from him again?
He got hurt.
Did you?
And then went to the Raiders.
Had you heard from him before that?
Listen, I don't give a fuck.
Listen.
There was talent on that squad. Who was the running back? Stop it. We're not going to sit here like Aaron Rodgers was playing with the receivers that Brady was playing with.
No. What I'm saying is there's a lot of defensive shit that they didn't have, and that streak of them never drafting an offensive skill position player for literally, 13 years in a row is truly an amazing stat. Just every year they're drafting corners and fucking safeties, all types of shit, and they never get him any type of help. So
I mean, I'm looking at these Jordy Nelson numbers. The guy was putting up video game numbers for 5 seasons.
Yeah, because of Aaron Rodgers.
Okay, but still he was talented enough to put up those numbers.
Randall Cobb
had a great year that one year.
He had a great career because of 12.
Hey, okay. But I'm just sitting here. We're acting like those teams weren't loaded. Then on defense, that was the Clay Matthews and the other white boy.
Listen, I'm not arguing
AJ Hawk.
You should
Julius Peppers.
Clay Matthews
they
and
had
AJ Hawk.
Folks, that fucking Charles Woodson. I mean, that's the year they won the Super Bowl, but Charles Woodson won Defensive Player of the Year over there.
Did they win Super Bowl?
They had some squads. We can't sit up here and act like these
these
last few years, he has 100% put the team on his back and carried them because these rosters have been lean. But we can't sit up here and act like for 15 years they've never given him a roster.
No.
I don't want to hear that.
That's not what I'm saying.
That.
No one's saying that. No one's saying that. Should he have won maybe another Super Bowl? Sure.
Yes.
But I don't think I'm not putting no blame on Aaron Rodgers for shit. How about that? The boy don't turn it over. The boy don't turn it over ever. He throws 30, 40 touchdowns a year. I ain't putting no blame on Aaron Rodgers.
This conversation is why. This is why conversation. Why is for me the conversation starts and ends with Tom Brady, because all these guys deal with all this shit, and somehow this motherfucker keeps winning Super Bowls.
That's true.
Keeps winning Super Bowls. I'm gonna go to a new team at 41. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna win a fucking Super Bowl because that's all I do. And this isn't anti-Aaron Rodgers, but I'm just telling you, when people want to say Brady this, Brady that, like this is the conversation should end at Brady. That's it.
Hey, look, Aaron Rodgers is going to get an opportunity to hand select whatever team he wants, just like Tom did, because Tom hand selected the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah, after winning 7 Super Bowls
Well,
somewhere
listen,
else.
I'm not denying none of that. But Aaron Rodgers is going to get an opportunity to hand select the team he wants to go to, so it seems, and he'll have that opportunity to go get another W. And we'll see. If he gets 2 more like Peyton did, he'll have 3 Super Bowls, and this conversation is null and void. Should he have won more in Green Bay? Sure. Is he still that man? Yes. So that's it.
Should he have made a play on Saturday?
Man, he's had a lot of trouble. Let's talk about the game real quick. He's had a lot of trouble. He's had a lot of trouble with the Niners, bro. I won a lot of money on him having trouble with the Niners. You remember the ticket a couple years ago.
Yeah.
So, I mean, look. They give him lots of trouble. He's 0-4 against them in the playoffs.
Put up 10 points at Lambeau.
They just have trouble with them. A lot of pressure, a lot of shit in his face. I think this, you know what a big thing is? I think that is people aren't talking about, and I watched the game front to back. Green Bay didn't make any plays, and they only scored 10 points, yes. But I also think they were playing very conservative because they knew they had the Niners offense on clamps. The Niners offense couldn't do anything. They weren't really worried about them pushing the ball upfield and going down and scoring a touchdown. So they were very conservative with the rock. Is that a mistake on their part? Maybe, sure. But
yeah, it's not like your quarterback has turnover issues. I mean,
right. But you get what I'm saying? I think they were playing a little safer because they figured that Jimmy Garoppolo's not going to be able to go down and do shit. He hasn't been doing shit all game. They've done 0 on offense the entire game, and then we give up a block punt for a touchdown, a block field goal before half, and then Jimmy G makes 2 or 3 throws the entire game, and then they lose at the buzzer. So they probably could have been a little more aggressive, but I shouldn't say they could have been a little more aggressive. They should have been a little more aggressive, but I think that's where a little bit of it get lost in translation.
Sean won't put anything on Aaron Rodgers ever, huh? If he's great, he's the greatest. If they fucking lose after putting up 10 points at home against literally, we'll talk about shaky quarterbacks. My goodness. Shakiest quarterback available in the playoffs right now is Jimmy Garoppolo, and they couldn't beat him at home in Lambeau Field in 9-degree weather. I don't want to hear it. That's on Aaron Rodgers. You're the best quarterback ever, we say. Right? You're super elite, we say. And I believe all that. I'm not disputing any of that. But he didn't make plays on Saturday night. Period, point blank.
They scored 10 points.
They put up 10 points at home against a team that was 0 threat on offense. So if anything, you could actually, why are you conservative against a team that is no threat on offense? You're not worried about them getting the ball back and scoring on you if you make a mistake. Right? Couple that with the fact that you have 12. I'm never being conservative with Aaron Rodgers. And I'm certainly never being conservative with Aaron Rodgers when I'm not worried about Jimmy Garoppolo on the other side. Jimmy Garoppolo stinks. Love that he's from the area. Love the passion he plays with, right? Think he's going to continue to make a ton of money in his career. I love the guy, but he's not good. Right? If we were going to record last week, I had a whole thing on Garoppolo where it's like, yo, that guy is really shaky. Like he's a fucking roller coaster of shakiness. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, somehow he wins, right? He got the win there, made the plays, like you said, in the fourth quarter that he needed to make. But Aaron Rodgers was nowhere to be found. He didn't throw a touchdown in a playoff game at home at Lambeau Field. Did not make the plays that were necessary. Did not win the game for his team. What are we talking about here?
When's the last time he hasn't thrown a touchdown?
They were conservative. They were this. They were that. No. You go out there and you win the fucking game. There's no excuse for putting up 10 points.
Yeah, there isn't.
There's no excuse for putting up 10 points.
That's some Chicago Bears shit.
Yeah, exactly. That was a Matt Nagy-esque. There's no excuse. There's no excuse. No excuse for no touchdowns from Rodgers. Did they score? Wait, they scored their touchdown on the opening drive, right? Yes.
I believe so.
Yes, they scored their touchdown on the opening drive. You didn't score again till the fourth quarter. They scored 7 in the first and 3 in the fourth. I don't want to hear it. Don't tell me conservative. Don't tell me this. Don't tell me that. That's a fucking flop. That's a failure. He can get out there in his fucking little beanie and drop philosophical quotes all he wants to. But look, man, get up on there and take it on the chest and say you didn't play well. You've been blaming everybody else all year long. You've been pointing fingers. You've been talking about Joe Rogan told you about this, and I don't want to get vaccinated, and I'm immunized, and all this shit. All right, you hear they called him Q Aaron? Did you see that?
No, I didn't see
that. They said Q Aaron. That shit was weak.
Yeah.
All that type shit, right? Hey, own it. You've wanted to talk all week, all year. You've gone on McAfee and you've talked all this. It's a beautiful mystery and like all this weird, whimsical shit. Hey, we want to hear from you, dog. What happened on Saturday? Where you at? Because that wasn't the organization, right? That wasn't Jordan Love. That was you. You had a clear opportunity against a team that couldn't score against the shakiest quarterback. That was a gift. I don't care about his problems against San Francisco. You put up 10 fucking points. This wasn't a shootout. You didn't lose that Bills-Chiefs game. Come on, man. You put up 17 points. You're playing this week against the Rams. Easy. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear it. You love him. So fucking give him his flowers today.
Yeah, I mean, that's my guy.
Don't come in here and talk about the game plan. I'm not gonna let you do that.
No. But I'm telling you,
to make a play.
He needs to make a play. But I think they kind of they got lulled to sleep a little bit on. Listen,
they got lulled to sleep watching Jimmy Garoppolo.
Let's just not make a mistake here, and we'll get out of here 10-3 type shit. And it came back to bite him in the ass. All right, we'll leave it there. Let's hop over to the main event. I don't even know how we got this far. We should have probably led with them, but I'll time stamp it for the people. Bills Chiefs, man. I don't know if I've ever been that heartbroken in a game that didn't include the Chicago Bears. You want to talk about an emotional roller coaster? I have a Bills money line ticket in my pocket for quite a sum of dollars, and they go down and score a touchdown. First of all, I faded 4th and 14.
Yeah,
they get 6. I fade 4th and 4. Where Josh Allen looks like Lamar Jackson. Like no one can touch him. No one can bring him down. He shakes 2-3 people, gets to the sideline, picks up a first down. Then throws another touchdown with 13 seconds left. This game is locked. If there's ever been a lock, this is the game is over. Until it wasn't. Talk to me about the game, how you felt about it, how you felt going in. I think one of the biggest plays of the game was in the first quarter when my man got caught tugging the back of it was 3rd down. He got caught tugging the back of Tyreek Sheeta's jersey.
Oh, the holding.
The hold.
Yeah.
Got him a fresh 4, and then they tied it up 7-7. I thought that was a massive play early in the game where he didn't need to do it, and he barely – I mean, it's a hold because he pulled on his jersey, but he didn't need to do that. But how did you feel going into the game? How did you feel watching it? And we'll get rolling.
Yeah, I mean, going in, you always this game was obviously hyped going in, right? This was the matchup that everybody wanted to see. And I think sometimes those games end up being a letdown. I didn't think that was going to be the case with this one, and clearly it wasn't. Yeah. Man, that game was fireworks. It was crazy. It was the peak of elite quarterback play in the fourth quarter, right? If you just want to see two guys who are so talented, so good, so at the top of their level. If you want to see what quarterbacks can do, if you want to see why teams spend their entire lives searching for a quarterback, if you want to see why once you have one, you always feel like you can win, that game was it, man. You watch two guys. Let's talk about Josh Allen first, because obviously the Chiefs won and their comeback, and we're gonna talk about them. Josh Allen is different. Very, 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 very different.
I've never been so wrong about a player in my entire life.
Well, I've also never seen a guy improve and the steps as quickly as he has, right? You look at year 1 to year 2, and then last year was obviously his real big breakout. He got better, right? They needed someone to run the ball. That's Josh Allen, right? On those little 3rd downs, and we were even talking about it when we were on the phone. Why are they doing anything on 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9 that's not Josh Allen taking the ball? Because he was clearly unstoppable, right? Even when he got the ball back to get that go-ahead score with 13 seconds, just the you talk about Joe Burrow being poised, like Josh Allen looked unflappable. Like he was ready for that moment, right? So like I gotta give him a shit ton of credit, man. Like that's a tough game to lose. Like you really you don't deserve to lose a game like that. You know what I mean? But then on the other side is that man. He reminded us. He was kind of quiet this year. People were talking shit about the Chiefs. They started off kind of rough. Mahomes didn't look like that dude for a while. He reminded everybody on Sunday night. I mean, he is special. And they're out there playing like schoolyard football, like the whole Kelsey thing, like I'm not going to run this route. And Mahomes like, okay, do it. Like just get open. And just having that level of chemistry with your tight end that you don't even know the route that he's going to run, but you know where he's going to be. You know that he's running to space and you complete that pass. And we can talk about Buffalo's D. We can talk about Buffalo not squib kicking it. You can talk about all that stuff. But to me, it was just like elite quarterback play. It was like you almost heard like the heavens open up and just watch these two guys play football. Like that's really what I felt watching that game. I've just never seen.
It's the best quarterback play I've ever seen.
Every possession was a score at the end of it. It was like every time they needed to score. The only reason that Buffalo didn't score again at the end is because they didn't get the ball back, right? Yeah. It was like at the end, was it 25 points in the last 2 minutes of the game, and then you have overtime? It was like these guys were like, okay, I get the ball back. I got no time. Boom, I'm going to come ahead and score. I got the ball back. I have no time. I'm going to come ahead and score. I'm going to go to my big money receiver. I'm going to go to my big money tight end. This guy's going to be open. We're going to get down the field. We're not fazed by this. Like, it was incredible, man. Like epic, really
epic. And I don't even fucking say that.
Yeah, epic. It was epic.
It was epic. Like that's what it was. It was the best quarterback play I've ever seen,
without a doubt.
Between them being mobile, both quarterbacks led the team in rushing.
Yeah.
So they're literally doing everything, running the ball, throwing it.
That Allen, when he escaped from both those guys, was
on 4th and 4.
Incredible.
He's literally
I thought he was sacked. I was like, oh, damn, they got back there on his ass.
He's literally looking at two dudes in the face, shakes one, but basically shimmies another one, and he's clear and gone. And when he's going to pick up the 4th and 4, he's actually waiting for you to come up and press him so he could throw it for 35.
Yeah.
Like he's not pressed at all. Like he's very relaxed, running right. He's like, yo, come on up. Go ahead and leave your man and come on up so I could dump one for 28. Like, that's what I'm seeing. It's what they were doing is beyond impressive. I tweeted, hold on. Let me pull up exactly what I said so I don't fuck it up. But I tweeted Gabriel Jerry Rice Davis.
Yeah, that guy.
He looked like that man.
And the Chiefs had zero interest in covering him at all.
Man, he was going crazy, bro.
I'd never even heard of that guy before today. Before the other day. And they had zero interest in covering him.
That post corner post he hit my man with on the 4th and 14.
Oh, my man fell down? Yeah. He juked him.
Bro, it was
like an AI crossover. Yeah.
It was without question the best quarterback play I've ever seen.
Well, and Allen finds all those guys too. Like Allen saw that and found like
he's not missing no people.
A lot of quarterbacking is not physical, it's mental, right? Like you got to find those, right? Like everybody's like, oh, the guy fell down. That's easy. Like that's not easy. You got to see that, and you got to know that you got to put that ball there. You can't fuck that up. And like Allen recognized that. But yeah, Gabriel Jerry Rice Davis is 100% right. Yeah. They had no interest in covering that guy at all.
Yeah. And I'm gonna tell you this, man. I went back and watched the game again just to give myself some more pain, but I wanted to see like the second half. I ended up watching like the whole game basically over again. Every single throw Allen and Mahomes made was accurate, on point, and in stride.
Yeah.
There wasn't, and no one was reaching backwards. I'm talking about even on check downs. They're slinging it sidearm out in front of Devin Singletary, out in front of Edwards-Helaire. Like
the Mahomes maybe threw the greatest pass I've ever seen in my entire life.
Under the dude's arm.
The back angle camera shot of that shows like how impossible it is that like you're moving forward, throwing with your right arm, trying to get it. Like it defies any type of physics. Like you had to literally place that ball perfectly, but you're placing it against gravity almost, right? You're running to the right and throwing back. Like the whole thing was crazy.
He threw it sidearm underneath the dude's arm that he knew the guy's arm was going to go straight up. So he's like, I got to go around this dude. And I'm throwing in traffic.
I'm literally throwing right at this guy.
So I got, he probably couldn't even see.
Yeah.
It's craziness.
I'm actually throwing to past the defender, not to the receiver. That throw was absolutely unbelievable.
Yo, and I'm going to tell you this too, on Buffalo's D, that's supposed to be the best D in the league. Absolutely crumbled down the stretch. Look, I understand you're tired, but even let's fast forward to overtime. No, fuck that. We'll go back to the minute left, right? Allen gets the ball with 1:05 left. You had all that time to rest. You're resting on the sideline during that drive. There's timeouts. There's a 4th and 14. You get all that time to rest. Allen scores a touchdown. You come out on the field. You legitimately need one tackle. You give up a 20-yard chunk play, then a 25-yard chunk play back to back in 13 seconds. Then you get all the time to rest after regulation's over, in between overtime. You're sitting there waiting for the coin toss. Coin toss comes out. You guys you're coming back on the field. And then they pick up 8, 12, 15, 17, 20, touchdown. I mean, they just get gashed. I understand that they're tired, but this is another thing. Call a fucking timeout.
Buffalo wasn't tackling anybody all game either.
It was
they're tackling because look at how many of those short screen passes and stuff like that the Chiefs got them on. I mean, you watch that, even the Hill one, like they're just bobbing, and I get the cheetah is impossible to catch.
No,
but these guys, he's special.
That run after catch,
he's different. But Buffalo couldn't tackle anybody. So to your point, like this is the best defense in the league. Like no, a lot of that, there was some coverage breakdown, there was some tackling breakdown, there was some awful play calling by Buffalo, but it was on both sides too. I mean, again, we talk about Kansas City's inability to fucking even pretend to cover Davis, right? So I mean, like, defense was out the window. You know, sometimes you watch those NBA games and people are just coming up and down the court, just waiting to get back on offense. That's what that was. Defensive players were just waiting to get back to watch the offensive play.
It's one of those things, man. If you tell me the Bills are going to score 36 on the road, they have to win.
Yeah.
With the defense that they've had all year, come on, man. Like, you can't lose that game on the road. You scored 36 points on the road. Shit's not. You can't lose that game, dog. That was a tough one, no doubt. And Tyreek Hill, man, for him to catch that ball over the middle where he did and go untouched, bro, no one was even close to even touching his back. None of that.
Yeah.
It was insane. And that's another ball Pat Mahomes put right out in front of him. Yep, perfectly thrown.
Exactly where to put
it. Nothing anyone can do about it because the ball is so perfectly thrown in stride that Cheetah's at top speed 2 or 3 steps after he catches it, and that's just a wrap.
Mm-hmm.
It's a wrap. So, what's your take on the whole overtime shit? I could care less, man.
I don't care. I don't care. Those are the rules, man. Like, yeah, I get it. Comes down to the coin toss, but at the end of the day, I think Louis Riddick said it best. Play some fucking defense.
Yeah. Get a stop.
That's all you got. That's all you got to do. Play some defense and get a stop. There's no reason that it should be that easy.
There's so many mistakes made by Buffalo to close the game. It's insane.
Yeah.
Last 13 seconds. After that, the fact that Allen lost that game after going down with a minute and scoring a touchdown is insane.
It's insane.
Also, I'm gonna tell you this. Shout out to Andy Reid for having timeouts left.
Mike McCarthy, take notes.
They don't have timeouts left. That shit is dead.
That shit is super dead.
They complete a pass, call a timeout, chill, re-up, throw another 20-yard pass, chill, timeout, run the kicker out.
What do you think about folks clowning the Cowboys because the Chiefs were able to get off 2 plays in less time than the Cowboys had, and they couldn't even get the ball down?
I thought
it is funny when you look at it like that. It's like, oh, this is what an organized team looks like. They know what to do.
It's.
I thought it was
center. I thought it was a little unfair because of the timeouts thing.
Yeah,
it's the same amount of time, but they have timeouts. They just stop the clock.
Yeah.
Like,
the Dallas shit is still inexcusable. They didn't know what to do.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. Like the Chiefs lose that game, they don't have timeouts. So it would have been the same shit. They would have been running up, scrambling, trying to get some shit locked in. They wouldn't have been able to. They wouldn't have enough time.
Can't believe they haven't fired McCarthy.
Man, it's tough when you give him all that money, man.
Dog, I would have fired that. I would have fired him. I would have fired him like week 4, but I don't care. I don't care if they were 4-0. I would have never hired him. But
you said we. I think us as owners, we'd have been Steinbrenner. We fire.
Yeah, I'm firing people. Oh my god, it'd be like this. It'd be like this soccer shit.
1 year deals.
What's up with I gotta ask these questions. So this soccer shit, they be firing these motherfuckers like right away, huh? Dog, they fired the dude from Leicester City who won the Premier League 5,000 to 1 odds. They fired him the next year.
Next year, bro, y'all out of there.
What the fuck? You can't have a losing streak. Like
the in football and soccer, you win Champions League, and if the next year the team looks out of form, they fire you.
They fire you.
Yeah, I think
firing dudes 12 games into shit. Like
a lot of that has to do with the money that's at stake. So, for example,
you win money for
if you get in like these European places, you get a lot of money,
a lot of cash.
So, like if you're at 9 and 10. But the team feels like, they have the talent to be that top 4 or 5 range. They're firing the dude so they can get a new voice in and try to get them up at top 5 range. But crazy weekend. Josh Allen played perfect the entire playoffs, and his D didn't help him out. But I'm going to say this. Buffalo also struggled in a lot of spots in the middle of the year. They won, I think, 6 or 7 in a row coming down the stretch, but they should have had home field advantage.
Yeah.
That game should have been in Buffalo. They shouldn't have had to worry about that. That's the other thing. That's major. There's no business the Titans should have been the 1 seed at home, and the Bills shouldn't have been. The Bills just went to Arrowhead the year before. They're like, yo, man, we don't want to go up there again.
You should that should have been your motivation for
you know
this year.
What I mean?
We do not want to go back there.
They had a couple gaffes during the year where they lost some inexplicable games, and they could have won and took care of business, closed out the year with 2 or 3 losses, and been the 1 seed, and motherfuckers would have had come through Buffalo, including the Chiefs. I think that shouldn't go without being mentioned. Those little lulls, you don't want to go to Arrowhead, man. Y'all did that already. Come to what is it called? Orchard Park?
Is that what their stadium's called?
I think Orchard Park, New York, Buffalo, whatever, man. Come up here and try to beat us. That's where I think is a big missed opportunity throughout earlier in the year because the Chiefs didn't play well till later on. I mean, they left the door open for people.
If you look at how the divisional round played out, apparently outside of the Chiefs, home field advantage didn't really matter.
Right. Yeah.
They all end up losing anyway. They all took the L anyway. So
yeah. All right.
All right, real quick. So who do you got next week then?
Oh, real quick. I have the Chiefs and I have the Niners.
Ooh, Chiefs Niners. You don't believe in the Rams, huh?
Well, first of all, there's going to be a lot of fucking Niners fans in LA. And it's tough, man. That's
you said the Ram fans are going to be the Lakers game, huh?
It's 100%. There's going to be a lot of Niners fans there. My gut tells me Chiefs Niners right now.
Okay.
I really believe in Shanahan, and I really believe in the Niners being able to pressure. And I think I think that the Rams are going to make more mistakes than the Niners. That's why I would pick them.
The Niners don't really. That's a testament to Shanahan, and that is how you win all these games with Jimmy Garoppolo. Is you don't make any mistakes.
Yeah, Jimmy might turn it over here and there, but yeah, I think it's going to be Chiefs Niners. Little rematch.
If they win the Super Bowl with Jimmy Garoppolo, what do?
You move him.
Yeah.
No, I mean that never happens. But listen. I don't listen. I think kind of the stuff that we're talking about. We pay these guys in these GM president roles to make really tough decisions that might get blowback. If you don't think Jimmy G's the guy and the reason you won the Super Bowl, then you move off of him. If you think he's the right decision and he's the reason you make the Super Bowl, then you keep him. You know what I'm saying? Like, I understand it might get blowback and all this and that, but package him up and try to get some more value from him, especially if you think Trey Lance is the guy. You move off of him. He got you a ring, you move. You paid him all that money, you move.
Who's the last quarterback to get dumped after winning a Super Bowl? I think it's only really been one.
Like you don't. I put it like this, really. While I think about that, you don't want to be the Flacco situation where he won a Super Bowl. Now we have to max him and pay him all the money in the world, and he's not worth all that.
Well, Flacco's defense, Flacco was on fire. It wasn't like Garoppolo, who's played 2 bad games, but they happened to win. Flacco was on fire.
Yeah, but the overall body of work was still there. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the situation you don't want to be in. So, the quarter, is it like in the 2000s or is it like, is it recent?
It's relative in our lifetime.
in our lifetime.
Yeah, he got dropped after this team won the Super Bowl. I mean, there's only one guy it could be when you really think about it, but he did get dropped after they won the Super Bowl, which is crazy to me. He did nothing to win the Super Bowl. He did nothing to win regular season games. He is the definition of take snaps and watch defense. He literally.
Trent Dilfer?
Yes, Dilfer.
Okay. Oh, Dilfer. Okay.
They didn't bring him back after they won.
Yeah, but I think that's the same thing. It's not. What I'm saying is
12 for 25. He was 12 for 25 or 153 yards and a touchdown in the Super Bowl.
Like, look, I'm telling you this, bro. If you don't believe in the guy, don't be afraid to move off. And I think that's kind of where they're at with Jimmy G. Like, they don't believe in him like that. And I like Jimmy G, like you said. I've kicked it with Jimmy G. Jimmy G's a cool ass dude.
Yeah, that seems like a great guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, looking through these Dilfer numbers, I can't believe they won a Super Bowl with this guy.
Oh, that defense.
He completed 59% of his passes that year.
That's Jamal Lewis.
That's Jamal. And they made him go to jail after that. Shout out Jamal Lewis.
Yo, they did make him go to jail after that.
He went to jail that summer.
Yeah, he did.
We did a 30 for 30 for that Ravens squad. Ray Lewis shaked the nigga, fucking Jamal Lewis.
We definitely did a 30 for 30 for that Ravens squad. 100%. Ray Lewis.
Who was the head coach?
Reed,
it was
my
man's.
No.
My man.
He was the Vikings head coach.
Oh, Brian Billick.
Brian Billick.
Yeah. Shout out Brian Billick.
Shout out Brian Billick.
Who was D coordinator was Marvin Lewis, right?
Brian Billick is definitely in Naples right now.
Yeah, kicking it. Tough. Dumb tough with a pocket full of stankies.
Pocket full of money down in Naples.
You probably see him down there sipping cappuccino.
100%.
Shout out Brian Billick.
But yeah, who you got?
You
sound like you want to take the Rams. How can you take the Rams after talking all that?
Chiefs Niners.
Okay.
I don't know. Chiefs Niners.
Since he don't got no shot in Arrowhead.
I don't know. Hey,
man, the line's 7.
Yeah. I got the Chiefs.
Nothing for Burrow. Too early for Burrow.
Yeah, you got the experience at quarterback versus the experience at head coach. Better overall roster.
Sure.
Yeah. So, but they'll be back. Joe Burrow, they'll be fine. Get that man some protection. Because if I'm the Chiefs, I'm watching that film from Saturday and being like, oh, okay, well, if we sack him 9 times, we're not losing. You know what I mean? So if I'm the Chiefs, I'm going after them. He's going to shred you regardless, so you can't be worried about him shredding you off the blitz. Just go after him and hope you can cause him to make a mistake. Yeah.
I think if I'm a Cincinnati Bengals fan, I'm going into the weekend in a win-win.
Yeah, you're happy regardless.
You're not. You're just sitting there
smiling,
watching.
Haven't won a playoff game in 30 years, so yeah.
You win 2 games. You're in the AFC Championship, and now you just sit back and enjoy, and then say, "Oh man, good run. We'll come back next year. We got Joe Burrow. We literally have Joe Burrow the next 15 seasons. Hopefully,
the AFC, those 3 quarterbacks in the AFC, it's just going to be stacked. 3 young guns: Mahomes, Allen, and Burrow.
and Herbert. So it's 4.
And Lamar.
And Lamar. Don't get me started. He's not in that ilk, but
and
yeah.
And Tyler Huntley.
Yeah, shout out Huntley. That boy a beast. Shout out T. Huntley, man.
Shout out T.
Huntley. All right, let's move over. Let me write this down. Let's move over to the NBA. The association. Hey, man, I might have to get a Suns.
Hey.
I might have to get a Suns ticket.
You want to ask me how it's going to shake out? I'll tell you exactly how this shit's going to shake out. It's already shaking out for us.
Go ahead.
Well, all right. Well, first, let's start in the Eastern Conference. The Eastern Conference, and you talked about it a lot at the beginning of the year. I think when we did our preview that this time conference is going to be tight all year. Yep. I don't think that we saw this. What is there? There's 2.5 games of separation amongst the top 6. So right now you got Miami in the 1 seed, Bulls half game back, Brooklyn half game back, Bucks game back, Cleveland a game and a half back, and Philly 2.5 games back. All those teams playing well except for the Bulls and kind of Brooklyn. Brooklyn's been hit or miss here. Dude, I think I said this last time we recorded. And in the West, look, I don't know what else to tell anybody. Phoenix has been the best team in the Western Conference for 2 years now. They have been the best team. They were the best team in the Western Conference last year and took it all the way to the NBA Finals where they had a shot. And they've been the best team in the Western Conference this year. I get we had a lot of Golden State love to start the year. They started off hot. They have cooled down. They got to work Clay back. They got some injuries issues that they need to figure out. This Phoenix thing keeps humming. They've won 9 of 10. They had, like a 16-game winning streak earlier this year. They know exactly who they are. They added into spots where they were deficient last year. They needed help for big men. They added 3-time NBA champion and Olympic gold medalist JaVale McGee, right? They still have Chris Paul. Devin Booker is playing at an MVP-type level. DeAndre Ayton's playing great. Mikal Bridges is the Defensive Player of the Year candidate. They got Boss Man 99 in the mix. Like, what else do you want?
What about Bismack?
Bismack Biyombo, another big who can give you 10 minutes.
They just added.
Dude, but all you're doing when you get you can laugh at Bismack, and I know I like to laugh with JaVale and all that, but these guys, they serve a purpose. Hey, we need DeAndre Ayton to get 10 minutes of breather, or he's banged up, or he's in foul trouble. Cool, JaVale McGee, come give us 10 minutes. Bismack Biyombo, come give us 10 minutes. It's the one thing they didn't have last year. They had no depth, especially after, what's my man, Saric went down. It was Ayton then Kaminsky. You can't win with a front court like that. Ayton was great, but you're going to Kaminsky in a spot where you're asking him to play D and do all these other big man stuff. That's not his game. So you go in, you add 2 rim-running bigs in Biyombo and McGee, who are pretty much like extremely poor man DeAndre Ayton's. Fine, let's go with it. You still got Chris Paul. I already told you about Booker. I already told you about Bridges. My man Cam Johnson out there shooting that rock. Shooting that rock. And they keep winning. What more do you want? 18-4 at home, 19-5 on the road. 9 of their last 10 have won 7 straight. Consistent. They've been the best team in the Western Conference for 2 years. They are, to me, without a doubt, representing the West in the finals. I think they cruise through the playoffs too. Barring an injury. Barring a CP3 injury, that team cruises through the West. And in the East, it's the Bucks. I think we're heading towards Bucks Suns 2.0. I like Philly. They don't have enough. Joel Embiid is playing out of his fucking mind right now. He's the MVP candidate. To me, Joel Embiid is the MVP because I don't think that team is very good, but they've been playing great. The Cleveland story is awesome, but they just don't have enough. I was at that game against them and the Bulls last week. They just don't have enough scoring, right? Like you get past Garland and they really struggle to score.
Yeah.
Brooklyn, the whole situation's just up in the air. They're 1 injury away from shit not working out. And you know, I'm not going to say anything bad against Miami, but I just think that Milwaukee's the best. It's either Milwaukee or Miami to me.
Simple as that, huh?
Simple as that. And the Suns cruise through the West. So who you got?
Hold on. Well, let's get to some of these other rankings. We know I don't want to pick who's going to win, but let's talk about what's going on. I want to see what the team futures. All right, here we go. Conference winner. Suns are +2. The Warriors still the favorite. +225 versus +270.
That's crazy.
Man, I should take the Jazz at +5.
You already know what's going to happen.
The Lakers are +650 still.
That's crazy.
They're still trying to show him some love. The Grizzlies being what, the number 3 team in the West right now is plus 1,200 to win the West.
The Lakers have better odds than the Grizzlies? Or the Grizzlies have better odds than the Lakers? Half?
The Lakers have better odds to win the West by the Grizzlies by half. The plus 650 versus plus 1,200.
What games are they watching? That's crazy to me.
Yeah, I don't know. They think LeBron can turn it on and carry him, I guess, but there's no way.
Who the hell is betting the Lakers at plus 6 anything? Who? You would think that they'd want to encourage some action on the Lakers side and make that a little bit more appetizing. That's not even good enough odds for me to even consider taking the Lakers. You'd have to give me like plus 15,000.
Yeah, they're really bad.
No shot. You might as well burn your money on fire.
Yeah, light it up.
Yeah, that team is ass.
Nets are pretty clearly the favorite in the East. Plus 130 versus the Bucks at plus 320.
I don't see that either. The Nets have the best team, but they can't stay healthy. And one guy can only play half the games. The other guy apparently doesn't want to be there.
You think that the Warriors can't keep up with the Suns? You said the Suns going to cruise.
I think the Suns cruise to the West.
You think Golden State's been playing over their head a little bit?
Yeah, I think they started off the season way over their head. Like they started off the season crazy hot. They're the best record in the NBA. I thought they started off the season way over their head. They're a good team. They're really good. They'll probably finish in that second or third seed, and they'll give teams trouble. And you don't want to see Steph, and you're hoping a healthy Clay and healthy Draymond in the playoffs. But I just think that Phoenix has been the class of the Western Conference for 2 years.
Yeah, you got.
Like I think people want it to be the Warriors. They love the Warriors, right? You want to think this thing is going to work out the way you want it to, and it still could. But if I had to put my money on it, Phoenix is the best team in the NBA. I mean, Phoenix has been the best. Yeah, they've been the best team in the Western Conference clearly for 2 years, and it hasn't stopped. Like, what more do you need to see? This team just keeps winning. You talked about it last year. They just keep winning.
Yeah, they looked really good. They caught a break or two with the Lakers injuries and AD and all
Even
that.
this Lakers team healthy was still going to be trash.
Last year? I'm talking about last year.
Oh, last year.
Yeah, like they caught a break to get out of that series because they were.
Everybody does every year, though.
Yeah, 100%.
Everybody does every year. You can go back through each champion and you can point to the break that they caught.
Sure. Yeah,
you know what I mean?
No doubt.
So yeah.
Okay, so ESPN's got it. Suns, Warriors. They got Memphis at 3. And then the first Eastern Conference is Miami Heat and then the Bucks. Bulls are at 6.
Yeah. Well, the Bulls have looked like shit.
Bulls looked really bad.
Bulls have lost 3 of 10 and should have lost last night. The only game we've looked good in is Cleveland.
Yeah. It's because we had to make sure Laurie didn't get a W.
Yeah, Laurie had 30.
We had to make sure Laurie didn't get a W.
Yeah, he was going off.
You think he should have pointed up at the press box at AK, low key?
No, he doesn't have the heart to do that.
That shit would have been hard though.
He doesn't have the heart to do that. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like the East is just so open, man. The East is crazy, and the thing is, the East has been like this the last few years. Like you don't really know. So I mean, like you could.
It's going to come down to health.
Yeah, it is
in the East. Simple as that.
Which is why I tend to ride with Milwaukee.
Everyone at full strength. You like Milwaukee?
I like Milwaukee. Yeah, I like Giannis. Giannis is KD's the best player, right? But it's Giannis to me is the man of the hour. You know what I mean? Like Giannis is the guy that you need to stop. I think obviously they're defending champions, but everything goes through Giannis to me. And no one has shown me that they can stop Giannis for 7 games, so I'm going with that.
Hey, speaking of the Bucks, I want to talk about this Grayson Allen thing. I am very bothered that no one on the Bulls said shit to Buddy.
Oh, we don't have that guy.
Not a peep.
Yeah.
That doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Not a peep. I'm not talking about someone, went over and said something. No one even yelled at him from across the way. No one said a fucking word to this dude. And he's just standing there, smug face. That shit really bothered me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know. Like, if that happened on the Heat, I think that's a brawl.
Oh yeah, well you got Jimmy fuck around and throw a punch.
Well, that's what I'm not even kidding, right?
No, for sure. Well, the Heat have a guy. You know what happens if that happens on the Heat? You know who checks in the game, right?
Who you talking about? Yeah, of course. You're talking about
UD.
UD.
Haslam is Haslam. As soon as that happens, Haslam is.
he pulled his snap ons
Scobie
off.
ain't even gotta tell me. Hey, I got 5 to give right now.
But
and I'm gonna give you each one of them up. Yeah, like, but that's why you have guys like that, 100%. No, don't you remember in the bubble a few years ago when Buddy went at Giannis and no one did anything on the Bucks? And I told you, I was like, that's a problem.
Yeah.
It was Bruce Brown too, and it was like, yo, no one, you can't go at Giannis, and that's Giannis, not Caruso. But it's like you can't have shit like that happening. You need those guys who are there for that.
Yeah,
for sure. And we don't have that. Like we don't have like Remember, Robin Lopez would have handled that.
Yeah,
back in the day.
It really shout out D in the comments. He said Warriors beating the Suns. They beat them twice this year. Yeah, we'll see.
That's fine.
We're gonna get back to it. But yo, that really is not sitting well with me, bro, because and I'm not even on some they're not tough and they're not this and they're not that, but
shit like that can't happen.
Shit like that can't happen, man. Our guy just got back, by the way. He ain't been on the floor for a minute. He plays hard all night, every night. He goes up.
I think he's our third most important player.
Yeah, without question. Without question. And he goes up. Listen, this is the thing, bro. Deliberate or not, you just took my man out. I don't give a fuck about if it was intentional or none of that. We got to have that at the very least, a chest-to-chest conversation. Us against the Bucks, a squad we know we're gonna see in the East, and that's in our division.
You gotta set the tone.
Like, yo, that shit cannot happen, bro. That shit really did not sit right with me. Even if it's Donovan going down the shit, like, hey man, get your boys out of control to Bud. Right. Something, anything. Fucking nothing happened, bro. It was like it was a common foul, and we just went back about our business. No one said shit the rest of the game. No one did anything. We just let him skate on it. Then the Bucks come out, start posting shit on Twitter. It's just because we let him skate. Shit bothered me, man. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Well, that Twitter shit was out of control.
Yeah.
Somebody's getting fired,
and I don't know if I'm blowing it out of proportion, but like,
I fully
can't
agree.
See that shit again.
I've always been on this train, man. I think that you have guys who are available for that type of activity, especially when it's a star. When you have a star, again, I get Caruso's not a star. They didn't do it to Zach. They didn't do it to DeMar. But to your point, just the fact that there was zero reaction from the Bulls.
None.
It wasn't, to your point, like Donovan wasn't yelling. You didn't have the bench yell. You didn't have people talking shit. Like, Nothing. It's not go out there and do the John Chaney where Chaney sent the guy out there to break the kid's leg.
Right.
Like, we don't got to go that far.
Like,
but
yo,
at the same time, like,
you
can't do that. Like, we're not going to be punked around by you guys. And to your point, it's the Bucks. This is a team that you're going to see. This is a team that you want to set some type of tone with. Like, you 100% need to get in their face and say something. Do something.
And another thing, too, you bring up Zach and DeMar. What makes you think it would have been different if it was them two?
That's what I'm saying.
No, I don't even know if it would have been different, right?
For sure. Yeah.
So that bothered me. We'll see how it shakes.
So you think they need to go sign Born Ready?
Somebody's got to talk to him, bro. Someone had to have said something. And I still think next time they play, someone's got to say something to him.
Absolutely.
At some point.
It's the baseball. You got to send something up and inside.
No, we'll see. Like, real shit though.
Yeah.
Like, yo, we got some time to sit on what happened. That shit was out of pocket. We got to talk to him about that. So
who do the Bulls have? Who do the Bulls even have that's even like that though?
That should be Javante's job.
That's Javante?
Bro, he's the all everything. He's the play hard guy. And I'm not telling go put an elbow in his face. I'm saying, yo, we know what you did, bro. That's some bullshit, foul shit. Like that's it.
I feel like Alizé Johnson would have been ready for that action.
Yeah, Alizé would have been ready.
Alizé would have been like, hold on,
Alizé would have been ready. But like, well, because like, let's go down the list. I think DeMar will talk to him. I think Zach's not that type of dude.
Zach is not doing that at all.
Vooch is not that type of dude.
No.
Io's a rookie. He's not doing that.
Can't do it, yeah. So, a lot of those 10-day guys, those guys on those 10-day contracts aren't in a position to get suspended or anything like that.
It has to be DeMar in a situation where he's like, yo, bro.
Yeah, I'm looking at our roster. We really don't have anybody who's like.
No, we're a bunch of
a lot of
nice.
nice
We're a bunch
guys.
of nice guys. Yeah,
Yeah, it's a lot of. There's literally not nobody in there who's there for that.
nice guys that get buckets and play really good defense.
Nobody on the roster who's there for that.
No, Lonzo Ball. Nah, he's not around. But no,
I think the Heat thing is probably the best example. Like literally, that's what Haslam is there. Like Haslam, I know he's there for a lot of reasons for the Heat, but he is 1,000% available for that. Like if that happens to fucking Bam, if that happens to Tyler Hero, you hear from UD.
I'm telling you that UD probably comes off the bench type shit, and he's at half, and they're like, "Yo, technical, he got it. He came off the bench type thing."
Yeah, he's ready. Yeah.
Yo, at the very,
he's suspended the next game. Fine.
Right. At the very least, to send a little like, "Yo, you can't be out here."
Yeah, what are you doing
on fast breaks, pulling people to the ground in midair,
and then swinging another arm back over?
Like you just.
And the league gives them one game for that bullshit.
So. Yeah, I don't know, man, but that shit bothered me. We'll see how that shakes out.
So wait, so who do you got then? I mean, I know you don't want to pick your winner, but I
don't want to pick the winner.
Where do you got? What are you seeing right now?
Listen, shout out my guy Ryan Kelly. He knows I like the Suns a lot. I'm a huge Devin Booker fan. I think they have their quote unquote bucket getter down the stretch type dude. CP3 is unflappable. We know, dude, he's been pushing triple doubles lately. Like he's
crazy.
Yeah, he's been all over the place doing his thing. So I really like Phoenix in the West. And that's obvious. Like you said, they're 36-9. Like,
and they got the black head coach, black GM.
Yeah, shout out Joe. So yeah, I like them. And I do think that Golden State's been playing over their head a little bit. Steph has now started to slow up a bit, but Gary Payton Jr. and all those guys, nice story. I don't know if that can, if that type of stuff is going to be going on.
Does that happen in May?
In the playoffs? Right.
Yeah.
Right. Like I think Jordan Poole is a dog. Like I need to see that type of shit in the playoffs as well. And now
extremely important to what they do.
We do this all the time in the NBA. You get there, you're like, happy to be here. Then you really push. We were really close. And then you come back and you're on motherfuckers' ass like the Bucks. Like, we're here to win the championship.
Yeah, that's it. Last year the Bucks were like, that is it.
Exactly.
Hey, we're not here for any good times, not here for any good vibes. Don't feel good. We're here to win. And that's when Giannis turned that switch too. Giannis like, yo, fucking, if I got to go get 50, I'm going out to get 50.
Exactly. And so I think Chris Paul and those guys, this is like, man, we trying to win the title.
And his clock is beyond ticking. Yeah.
Yep. We're going to have hopefully we're going to try to go get home court. And this is that spot for the Suns where it's championship or bust. Say what you want. They had to be a little happy that they were in the finals last year.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like, we've got that. We've tasted the finals. Now let's get back and then let's actually win this motherfucker.
And like, it matters how you come back too, right? Like that's on Monty Williams. Like the fact that this team has come back and still looks hungry, right? Still like you could easily follow that up with a dud or thinking you're the shit or whatever it is, right? Like, no, the focus is very singular for them. Like you don't hear them say shit.
Yeah.
Like it's like we're gonna go out, we're gonna win a bunch of regular season games to put ourselves in a position to have home court throughout, and we're gonna win our championship this year. So yeah, I think it's set up perfectly for them, honestly.
Yeah, they just gotta stay healthy.
They gotta stay healthy.
The second year of guys like Cam Johnson, Mikal Bridges, and those dudes in the finals will be, all that shit will be a long way. So I really like them. Yeah. Hey, and I'm gonna tell you this, man. I say it every year. I really like Utah, dude. I know they fuck around a lot.
I'm good.
But Donovan was hurt last year for early going in, and then their PG was hurt. Connolly was hurt.
Utah has lost 8 of 10.
I know they've been. I understand. I get it, and they have looked really bad. And then they I think they play Phoenix tonight.
They do.
And they play Phoenix
at 9.
They play Phoenix tonight.
Well, they played Phoenix. They played Phoenix on Monday and lost. And then they play them again tonight.
Yes.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow, and they basically were like.
I mean, they lost to Houston. They lost to the Lakers.
Well, it was last night.
They lost to Detroit.
It's weekend.
They lost to the Pacers. They lost to the Raptors by double digits. They're not very good right now.
And I'm going to tell you, and this is what, and last night, this is what they did. A bunch of people sat out, like DNPs. So like, look, they like Jordan Clarkson, Whiteside, Rudy Gay, like all these dudes got big minutes.
Dog, Jordan Clarkson looking around and seeing no one else to take shots is like heaven to him.
Yeah.
Oh, like,
Yeah.
it's like, what do you mean? Bro, I've never seen anybody that gets rid of the ball quicker. Like if Jordan Clarkson gets the ball, it's going up.
Yeah, 100%.
It's like he's Mr. Usage rate. It has to be crazy.
Mr. Usage rate. All right, let's leave it there. I got to go to work, do some things. But yeah, man, big NFL weekend coming up. AFC, NFC Championship, Super Bowl will be picked. I got some futures tickets that I'm looking forward to cashing. I got TJ Watt, DPOY. I hedged out and got Rodgers for the MVP, so I got some money coming back there, I think. So lots of things to look forward to. Keep locked on the NBA. And that's it, man. For Big Nick the Quick, I am your host, Sean Little. Make sure you subscribe. You know the deal, man. We're locked in everywhere: YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, the whole nine. Make sure you tap in with us. Shoot us some DMs if you want to chat. We're always open to answering some questions. Twitter at Chicago Flow. Big Nick the Quick is the Quick. What is it? 420?
Yeah, no, it's Nick the Quick 1029. Super old. Super old. Shout out high school.
Yeah. So make sure you tap in with us, man. Shoot us a DM. Follow us, man. No catch up. Sports Talk via Chicago. We out of here.